Hello and welcome to another segment of Good to Know Family Law Topics. Today's segment, which I like to call Should I File for Legal Separation? I'm going to discuss what a legal separation is. I'm going to tell you why people generally file for legal separation. And then I'm going to give you a couple of tips before you decide to go forward and file for legal separation. So let's talk about the first topic. What is a legal separation? First of all, a legal separation is not the same as a date of separation. A lot of people, understandably, are confused about the differences between the two of them. A legal separation is a legal judgment. It's just like the dissolution of marriage, where there's a judgment of legal separation at the conclusion of the proceedings. And just like the dissolution of marriage, a legal separation is going to resolve just about every issue that a dissolution will have, such as whether or not people have joint or physical custody, child support, spousal support, the division of property, attorney's fees, and everything else that a dissolution is, except the marital status will remain intact. So even though you are legally separated, you're still married. But what you should know is that in a legal separation, your marital rights are terminated. And what that means is that once the judgment is entered, you no longer acquire property with your spouse, and you can't acquire further rights for spousal support. Now, you can get rights for child support, so don't get confused on that. But the legal separation is one that terminates marital rights, and in order to regain those rights, you would actually have to get a dissolution of marriage and then remarry. So why do people file for legal separation? Well, I'm going to discuss 4 primary reasons why I've seen people file for legal separation. There may be a lot more reasons, but here are the 4. First of all, people file for legal separation when there's a belief that the relationship may reconcile. You know, there's some hope that even though there's differences between the parties, that somewhere down the line, they're going to resolve their differences and continue on with their marriage. The second reason why people choose to file for legal separation has to do with their religious beliefs. There are people that believe that getting a divorce is a moral decision, and their religion tells them that it's wrong to do so. And so they postpone the divorce by filing for legal separation. The third reason is when people want to maintain each other on their health insurance benefits. This applies a lot of times to elderly people. As you may know, you may not maintain your spouse on your health insurance once the divorce is entered. So some people want to keep that marital status intact for that purpose. And the fourth reason, and a very important reason why people file for legal separation, is where they want the court to have jurisdiction over their matter. In California, they have a divorce in a particular courthouse or in a county. You have to be a resident in the state of California for 6 months and a resident in the county for 3 months. But if you file for legal separation, there's what we call overnight jurisdiction. So you could file for legal separation, and then after 6 months pass, then you could seek an amended petition for dissolution of marriage. So it's a legal procedure to get you in the court that you want. Now that I've told you what a legal separation is and why people generally file for legal separation, let me give you a very important tip. Do not file for legal separation if you're merely trying to make a point with your spouse or to get the upper hand in an argument. The thing that you should know is that once you file for legal separation, your spouse is going to be served with a blank response. And your spouse may, just by checking a box, turn the legal proceedings into a dissolution of marriage. So you don't have complete control as to whether it's going to be a legal separation or dissolution of marriage. We have seen where people have filed for legal separation to make a point and then regret that decision because the other spouse went ahead with the dissolution of marriage. And that's all I have today on legal separations. Thank you again for joining us on Good to Know Family Law Topics. Be sure to read our blog to learn more about family law topics that may be important to you.